Hello, everybody. My name is Glen Bolton. I am the Automation Delivery Manager at Surrey County Council. I will talk today a bit about our journey at Surrey County Council. I'll try and talk as slow as I can so that you can understand me. Otherwise, if I talk fast, then you're probably not going to understand a word that I'm saying. Okay, so we'll go to our automation journey. So this is where we began in 2018. Because of increasing demands on resources and budgets, Surrey County Council set up a digital transformation programme to find smarter ways of working. So in 2019, we began to explore robotic process automation using UiPath to see if we could help, with funding being provided by the digital program. And we used a consultancy company to help us create a centre of excellence and train existing employees. And in that year, we built 9 automations in several areas, including transport, finance, and social care. In 2020, we built another 12 automations and began to shape our internal processes, including governance and platform management. And over the next 2 years, in 2021 and 22, as the benefits were realised, more services come to us, and we created another 30 automations over 2 years. And now in 2023, we are established with RPA. We have more than 50 robots and are exploring artificial intelligence in document understanding and optical character recognition, and also chatbots, and combining those with robotic process automation and to keep that under the automation umbrella as a whole. So here, I'm just going to explain a little bit about our best use case, one of my favorites. So strengths and difficulties questionnaire in children's social care. So for this, the process was for carers of children to complete and submit paper forms. The team then received the paper forms and they entered all of the information into the database and set scores for each form. If the score was high, then this would be sent to another team for further investigation. So the problem was that the forms, because they were paper, were not completed properly, and the team did not have enough resource to contact all of them and process the forms quickly. So this could mean that if a child needed help, then they would have to wait a long time, sometimes up to 3 months. By this time, sometimes it's too late. So the solution was that first we had to improve the process to make the paper form an online digital form, so process improvement, using our GOS form solution. So we needed to do this to make sure that it was ready for automation. And then after that, we automated the whole process. Now, when the forms are submitted, they are complete because the form has validation checks because it's digital. And if any have a high score, the robot finds this out straight away and sends the email to another team so they can get help. So the benefits for this is before, where the child could wait up to 3 months for help because it took a very long time for the forms to be processed. Now they can get help in almost 1 week or less. So this saves the team time so that they can help more children, and it makes sure that the children get the help that they need faster. So a few of the different types of categories that we use RPA in. So application forms. So this one, as explained in that use case, sometimes application forms come in through online or through email, and the RPA picks up those forms, takes all of the information from them, and processes that information and can put into another system or send via email to another person or team. Email management, so that's quite similar, but it reads from mailboxes and it identifies specific emails, and it can take attachments and all of the text from the email and process this and also put it into another system or send it on to someone else. Appointment management. This is something that we explored within our chatbots. And if we look at things like retention and purge, RPA can identify where files are older than a specific date and delete those files so that the organization stays compliant with GDPR and data protection. File management, data migration is a very big one for us at the moment, because where we are changing many of our systems or applications, we need to take all of the data from one database and move it into another. RPA can help to do this very quickly using APIs, whereas if it would take it would take the team a very long time. I mean, one of our migration robots that we have, if they was to do it manually, it would have taken 3 years to migrate all of the data. But with RPA, we managed to do that in just 2 weeks. By doing that, you had cost avoidance of almost £1.2 million, because we saved on the money that we would have had to use to extend the license of the older system. Document processing. So again, if as for example, application forms, but this can be letters and contracts as well. We built one robot that had that was in our recruitment team that used hiring managers' application forms and built a contract for the employee to sign before they start. Ticketing systems. So when support tickets are raised, it can pick up these support tickets and make sure that they are triaged and sent to the correct teams. And then we have master data management. System testing is a very good one, because the robots can go into all systems every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and check to make sure that all of the login is working correctly and the database is working correctly. And if there is something wrong, it sends an email to our team straight away so that we can fix it. And by doing that, we get to the problem and resolve it before the user finds the problem. So here, as I outlined at the bottom, we have robots in customer services, transport, HR and recruitment, finance and payroll, and social care. So we started off by looking at customer services and finance and payroll, and now we seem to spend more of our time in social care, because we find that that is where there is a lot of value, not just for to save time, but also for adults and children that require more customer-facing communications. So our achievements over the last 4 years since we started, we've been on an incredible journey into robotic process automation, and we've also began to explore now how we can use chatbots to help our residents. So since February 2019, we have built more than 50 robots this is actually 57 now over the last 3 months, to either fully or partially automate processes. So this is, if we look at a process, we always look to fully automate the process, but if there are certain parts of the process which we cannot automate, then we can at least automate part of the process, so that once the robot has finished processing that part, it can then be handed back to a member of the team to finish the process off manually. So they will still benefit from that. So over the last 4 years, we have now made from our 50 robots a continuous annual cost saving of almost £500,000, and saved the teams across the organisation almost 30,000 hours of their time. So they have been able to spend this time on more value-adding tasks and tasks where they can communicate more closely and work more closely with the residents. And we also have 4 chatbots now that are actively listening to our residents. These are on our Surrey website, and sometimes we can combine the chatbot with RPA, so that when the resident asks a question through the chatbot, RPA can be triggered in the background to find the answer and then return it back to the chatbot. And so this here is a little about what our employees have said when we have automated processes for them in their teams. So the first one, after 2 years of trying to process our application forms on a daily basis to meet targets, I can finally breathe and focus on those that need further investigation. So this allows them to look at the ones where they need to do more manual work on them, and allows them to process them ones faster, so that the ones that are easy to process by the robot can be done in the background. Then there's another one. We have 4 automations now, and we can't wait for more. They save us so much time. So this one I know is in our registrations team, where they deal with birth registrations, death registrations, and marriage registrations. We built one robot for them, and they keep coming back and asking for more, because they can see how much benefit RPA has for them. And then human error meant that we spent more time correcting records than inputting them. Now we don't have to do either of those things. So before, where you have a human constantly entering data into a system, they get tired, they get complacent, and they make some mistakes. Sometimes, especially in finance, if it comes to the end of the month where they run payroll, it's only then they find all of these mistakes, and they have to work very fast to correct these mistakes, so that they can make sure everybody gets paid. Now, with a robot, because it's following the same process every single time, it is very accurate. It doesn't make these errors. So when it comes to the end of the month, so in the case of payroll, payroll is run and there's no errors to be corrected. And then at the bottom right, the time we have saved has allowed us to build better relationships with our residents. So quite a lot of the time we've seen, especially in our organisation, we always have to save money for our residents. Sometimes this means that some teams may be short-staffed and have low resource. And because of that, they find themselves doing all of the work and not finding any time to engage with the residents and find out what they actually need. So by saving them the time, they can allow the robotic process automation to work for them on these manual and repetitive tasks, so that they can then dedicate their time to working with the residents and making sure that they find out exactly what they need and helping them faster. So the future in automation for us, So from today and beyond, as you can see in this UI path picture on the right hand side, we have been working in the blue area in the center for RPA. So all of that I've mentioned, so moving files and folders, read and write to databases, fill forms, capture tasks. Now we're starting to look at chatbots on the outside in the orange, document understanding, speech to text, and working with unstructured data as well as structured data. So that's more in the realm of AI. So with RPA, we are in business as usual, very established. So now we can concentrate on the wider capabilities and hopefully benefit the organization even more than we have done. So we will continue to automate as many processes as we can across the organization to continue to relieve the pressure. And we think that at the moment, we have only just scraped the surface of the automations that we can, or the processes that we can automate. We do that to save the taxpayers money. We're also going to try to use Automation Hub to help the users to submit and manage ideas through the UiPath platform. Use task capture and process mining techniques to achieve maximum benefit. And as I said earlier, blend those different technologies together to increase the automation potential. Creating chatbots for staff, internal, and residents externally to reduce the number of calls to contact centers, and then using AI tools, so artificial intelligence for OCR and document understanding. And also to measure all of the benefits realized through automation so that we can celebrate these and share these with our residents. And that's it. That's it from me. I hope you all found that useful and understood me clearly. I can hand back.